So we have both options open. We can either Allegiance with like drawing another champ, or we get the Basilisk Rider. I think we draw another champ, so I want to have the Dunekeeper here. So what would be neat is another Draven here.
We live in hallowed time.
Okay, get the Darius, but the really thick one. Greetings, freaks and folks, this is Vlad the Lad. Legends of Runeterra is a great game, don't you agree with me? Now, I have a lot of content about Legends of Runeterra, subscription would be a good idea. Now, I said that I will get the next video on in 2 days from yesterday, so technically tomorrow, but I had such a nice idea that I wanted to share it with you guys. I'm really excited for that. So today's background is very fitting, as is my shirt. I dressed for Noxus as we go for Bloody Chronics. Now you see the region combination and you say, Darius, oh, it's just the old aggro Azir list. But no, it's not. It's actually a pretty dope list I put together, if I may say so myself, where the main idea of it was to combine the predict, I just want to say scry, but that's Magic the Gathering, the predict mechanic, as we can put something on top of our deck amongst 3 cards that we choose from, and then we can enable something like Allegiance. And this was the main idea of this list. That's why this is probably the first deck you see where you have both Allegiance cards actually from both colors in here. So we have a full set of the Golden Ambassador and a 2 of Basilisk Rider. Now, why not a 3 of Basilisk Rider? Because after he got nerfed in a like normal state, he was overpowered. At some point he was a 5-3, I think, and he was then upon his buff, like when he gets the Allegiance hit it, he was a 6-4, I think, so was way above levels, and every Noxus deck was busted with him, like Mono Noxus. So I ended up having 2 of them, because basically if you meet the Allegiance, he is just 1 attack better than a Renekton, right? Renekton is a 4 mana 4/4, and if you meet the challenge requirement, he even gets 2 attack more and 1 HP more, so Renekton is a way better Basilisk Rider in a sense, but I still wanted to go with this approach, as we have, a lot of Overwhelm synergies in this deck. Or Overwhelm units in general. We have a full set of Captain Farron, we have Darius as a full set, 2 of Captain Farron, not full set. We have a full set of Ruin Runner, and like I said, the Basilisk Rider as a 2 of. Also Draven is something that shines in this list. I was looking at all the champions we have, and I wanted to make use of the Golden Ambassador, as if we meet the Allegiance, we will get to draw a champion that granted +2/+2. This is something really dope in conjunction with Darius, because he just gets up to 8-7, and if he is leveled up, he is in 12-8, right? So yeah, pretty thick Darius, gotta say. If the enemy nexus is down to 10 already, which helps us is the Decimate with it. And also, like I said, all the Overwhelm units. So at the point where we play Darius, we should be able to have him down to 10. We don't have a too aggressive of a start. Like we have a 2 of Dunekeeper. I had 3 beforehand, but I cut it out for another card. Because the Dunekeeper opener is just nuts. When we have the attack token and Dunekeeper in hand, we do 4 damage right away. And this goes a long way for the level up for Darius. But like I said, back to Draven, this is something pretty nice. If we meet the Draven with the Golden Ambassador, then we have a 3 mana 5/5 with quick attack that is creating access. And if we level him up, he gets Overwhelm, and leveling up obviously goes with the spinning access. Unfortunately, we don't really have things to discard, so most of the time we want to just hit multiple times with him and generate access like that. And probably if we have a brick tent with something we don't need in hand, we can then discard something. So this is not fully perfect list up to now, because I was playtesting it a lot, but I think it's not at the point where it's perfect. I have a 1 of Rite of Negation to disable any mass removal, for example, or any very crucial spell that we need to counter. I have a 2 of Whispered Words to not run out of steam. Reputation is a thing we could technically pull off pretty easily, as we have a lot of 5 attack units like the Ruin Runner, like Darius, like Captain Farron. Like I said, Draven, if he gets the +2/+2, and also the Basilisk Rider. Now, how do we meet the Allegiance? With, like I said, the predict thing. Like you see, we have a pretty even level of Noxus cards and Shurima, so we have almost half and half. And we almost always have a Noxus and the Shurima card to choose from the 3 cards. So we start with the 1 mana burst speed, where like we bank spell mana for turn 4, play the Scrying Sands on some unit from the enemy, and then we play either the Basilisk Rider or the Golden Ambassador, depending on what we have in hand. And we put on the color that we need for that Allegiance card on top of it to definitely meet the Allegiance. We also have a 2 of Aspiring Chronomancer to potentially pull this off later on the line. Maybe in turn 6 we can play this beforehand, and then for the rest of the 4 mana we can play the Allegiance card. And the third thing is the Ancient Preparations. Now I really would love to have more spells that predict. Unfortunately we don't have that. We have the Time in the Bottle, and it really feels bad to spend 2 mana just to meet the Allegiance, because it's just advancing a landmark for 2 rounds, and we don't have any landmarks that are advancing. I still have another Brewing, which is also having double Allegiance. So this is not the only color I wanted to pull off the double Allegiance with. So if you're excited for that, definitely subscription if you haven't already, to not miss out on that. And like I said, we also have not too big of an aggressive start. We have a 2 of Legion Grandier to at least have a bit of an early play or early game. But it's hard to have at the same time all those predict cards, right? And because they are normally the cheap cards, or you want them to be cheap to then play the Allegiance cards early. So you're sacrificing a bit of momentum at the beginning. So we are technically a mid-range deck. So keep that in mind if you want to play this in ranked. This is probably not the best idea right now, as like I mentioned in the last video, Azir and Aurelia are suppressing the meta quite a bit with all this aggression. And yeah, that's also leading to all these other very aggressive decks. To the one-offs, we have a one-off of Mimic to potentially copy whatever we have here. For example, we have an Apprehend, which is a like genius card. If we have Darius on board, we rally with it for 2 mana and stun something. This is just straight up OP. And for 2 mana, we can use as an emergency thing to go with to stun potentially an Essus or whatever we want to take out for a 1 turn, which can potentially lead off to win. 2 of Culling Strike to navigate around all these Azirs and Ezreals and all that stuff. Flash, like there's so much use for Culling Strike. I had it as a 3 of before, but then I said I'm not a control deck, right? I want to do my thing. I want to pull off my game plan. And I think I even took out the 1 Culling Strike for the Mimic to potentially copy the Culling Strike and have a 3rd one if we need it. We can also copy Rolling Death, for example, as a one-off here. We can copy Rite of Negation, Whispered Words, Decimate. Like, this is so versatile, and the fact that we can predict things is holding this deck together. Like, if we really need this one-off of Rite of Negation, we can potentially see it in prediction and get it right into the hand. So this is more consistent than just having it as a one-off and hoping to draw it, right? This is why I really love the predict mechanic as a thing. And I'm already talking way too long again. Sorry for that, but I'm really excited for this deck and to share with you guys. Also, the Merciless Thunder is a 2-off here because it's just a broken 3-drop. There's no particular reason for that. Also, we can grant something vulnerable and challenge it with a Draven and finish it off with a quick attack for free. So this is another synergy right there. And we will jump into the games right after the Too Long Didn't Watch. So hello there, you lovely lads with little time. This deck list is completely built around double Allegiance, which was an idea I had in conjunction with the predict mechanics. We have 3 of ancient preparations, also the Despairing Chronomancer and Scrying Sense, to predict things, put something on top of our deck, and definitely meet the allegiance of both of our allegiance cards we have in this list. Other than that, we have a lot of Overwhelm units to get the Darius level up and get the enemy nexus down to 10 health or less. Also have a 2 of Decimate to help us doing that. Also a lot of one-offs that have their place, definitely. Also Culling Strike to remove Azir and the likes. And that's basically the whole deck idea I had with this. And without any further talking, we will jump into normal matches, because I am actually right now climbing with my spider deck, which is, if you haven't seen it, you can see it up here, is a list control with Legion Marauders, and it's working really nicely with. By now I think I went like 10 wins and 2 losses or something like that, so a really nice streak there. And I want to climb on 2 masters, so I won't play ranked for now and just play normal. Let's go. Victory! No, my opponent just didn't connect. Okay, so our first opponent is Mono Shurima with all the 3 gods. Very interesting. Definitely keeping the Draven. Rune Runner is a bit too early, also the Captain Farron. I rather find my Allegiance cards. That's why we're here for. We have one of our combo pieces, Scrying Sense. Like, this is something you almost always keep in your opener in this list, in this deck. Because this is like a 1 mana predict for spell mana, and that's something very important to have. Okay. I think I want to do both of these. But I will lead off with the Ancient Preparations. So we see here not really the cards that we want to see. Like, I will put off a Culling Strike for the Azir, and just hope they don't have the Shadestone. I hope that he will do something, spend mana on... Oh! Dude! Okay, I misclicked hard. I got another Scrying Sense. Fuck. Never click too fast. God. Well, we got 4 damage in. We need to stay positive. Oh boy. Yeah, so we sacrificed 1 card there. And now we can play the Draven. The land obeys. Pass here. And we're definitely trading into the Rock Hobby here. I'm surprised he offers the trade. As we can... I'm still not playing the Draven, because the Buckling is summoned here. Will eat up, let's say, the vulnerable. Alright. We have Ray of Negation backup, in case he does some weird shenanigans. And we attack. Generate more X's. We didn't quite get him very low up to now, but we all have these Rune Runners in hand, which is amazing. He decides to play this without mercy. Depending on what we draw next, we will also play the Rune Runner, the second one. Definitely blocking into this and baiting out the Shaped Stone. So he Shaped Stones, gets up to 5 damage. I do this and he goes down to 2. I think... Do we do that though? I don't think so. I'll just pass. Because I want to use this proactively upon his block. Potentially getting more damage in. Drawing is really neat. I will go with the Rune Runner though. And everything in between. So we're threatening a really big attack here. And we will definitely attack into this. He can't use his Spirit Fire because we have double Spell Shield. So this is a really, really good attack. See his Shaped Stone here, I assume. And we can react with a Scrying Sense. Okay, Quick Sense. Very interesting play. So I will try to save my Darius here. And none of these are really good at that point. I think I will do another Draven. Because he converts into, like if he survives, converts into Rolling Death. And this can be game winning. We have him down to 5 already. So basically, I could even go for the spinning X into Decimate. But I don't think he can pull off the Buried Sun Disc as of directly. So I'm pretty safe to just wait another round here.
I don't want to meet whatever woke you up.
See, level up. Nope. Not gonna do that, Mr. Azir. That's a bit scary though. We will starting to draw things. Find Mr. Darius. But we pass for now. He still has a lot of mana open.
Who's with me?
We have to play around the... what's it called? The Shaped Stone. So we will block like this, I think. Oh, we'll block here. So he Shaped Stones this, and I can then Rolling Death it. I think is the play. I just hope he doesn't have double... Okay. So we could still have the Ruinous Path to finish me off here. So I need to keep my mana open, unfortunately. Okay. No Ruinous Path. Which means... Do I even Darius? I don't think so, I just attack. Out of the way! He already needs to answer this. To some degree.
Listen to me.
I can buff something with the X's here. So we go with X number 1. Probably on this. Threaten lethal again. And we got him. So we had so many ways to lethal him here. To be fair, that's a really easy deck to beat with this particular deck that I had. Because they need a lot of time to set up the Mono Shurima thing, right? Especially with those spell shields, they didn't... I think they had Spirit Fire in hand and had no use for that. So let's go for round 2. As we run into Fiora Shen. Okay. This could be a bit more tricky. They have the means to outvalue us. They're definitely keeping the Culling Strike for both of them. They both have 3 attacks, so they have to buff it to with a sharp sight. And definitely a mulligan Darius. Chronomancer could be neat to have a turn 2 play. And draw into potentially cards that we need.
I am one with the land.
You are one with the land. Why don't you attack? Mr. Joe. It's weird. As we... These are all neat. I think I'll take the Basilisk Rider.
I don't want to meet whatever woke you up.
And hoping to draw into more Predict. Definitely attacking right now. Because if he sharp sights, we have it out of him, right? And this would be a lot of value for my Culling Strike. Probably see Fiora coming down here.
Beauty in the blade.
If I Culling Strike this, he sharp sights. Yeah, I think I want to pass for now. Because he can easily kill my Draven with it. Oh, he even uses it proactively. I think this is a very bad play. But I'm taking it. So we can easily Draven here. Main event. As we have the Rolling Death. And I think with this in our back, I definitely want to attack here.
Watch and learn.
Hope he... Okay. He doesn't. So we get a 3 hit off, plus the spinning axis.
These woods protect their own.
These woods protect their own. I will try to Culling Strike here. Because if he has another sharp sight, we have it out of him. He can't have a second Fiora into riposte. He doesn't have the mana for it. So this is the moment we go for it. Yeah. Exactly. So we have it out of him, which is extremely good. And he gets no value for it whatsoever. Oh, like, obviously he denies the Culling Strike, but he doesn't get the damage off. Or any traits. Hello. Hello. Now I would really, really love to play the Rune Runner, but I want to have my Willing Death open. So this is a tough spot to be in. I could also just draw. Yeah, I think I'm just drawing here. Because I'm not really scared about his board. If he wants to attack into me, that's very fine. I will just draw to use my mana, because I don't want him to pass back. Trading this with that... Do I mind this? Not particularly.
Hey, buddy, what you doing?
I think it's a good thing. Do I overdraw though? I didn't count my cards, fuck. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, fuck. Should have counted my cards first. I have to do this. Was a bit stupid to do. Just have to do this, not overdraw.
Now we're cooking.
Already misplaying. But it's... Thankfully it's a normal game. We're really missing out on our predict cards here, unfortunately. We could go for a gamble here, but I don't want to do that. So instead what we are doing is... I'm passing. They have mana advantage over us. And I don't want him to... No, I don't think I want this to happen. Because it will buff these two as well. And... I mean, I could Willing Death into trying to kill her, but he could have another buff, so... I will go for this. Just denying it. Hoping he doesn't have to deny himself. Okay, he does. That sucks. Not gonna lie. Obviously we don't attack into this. Because he would just get more damage off. Man, if we had just one more mana, it sucks. Too easy. But he's left with 2 cards, that's the good thing. And I definitely want to Rune Runner next. Does he have lethal here? 6, 10, no. We drop very low, but from now point onwards, I think we can start to dominate the board again. So we'll start off with the Darius here, I think. Oh, I have to play Rune Runner. In case he has single combat, or even Concerting Strike would be a very bad thing for us. I really miss out on my... Where am I fucking... I have 8 predict cards in the deck. I played 1, or I drew 1. It's really ridiculous again. So we played the second Rune Runner here. See, I can see. And we will definitely attack into this. He will try to do some shenanigans, and we can then Willing Death this. Or we just get it off like this. Now I'm a bit concerned that he lethals me. Let's see here. Probably has the 9 mana follower with all these areas. Okay. He does not. Man. I don't find the right cards here. So I will go with the gamble here. I'd rather have the Ambassador. Okay, we hit it. This is all something you can do. If you don't have the predict cards. You can just take the gamble. Because we are dying anyways, I think it's the right call to just try to save one of these. And then we play Willing Death here, I think. Unfortunately, we can't mimic the Walling Death. But we can mimic the Monopify, fortunately for us. Oh, this is our last out. Damn it. Okay. Yeah, too many denies. GG. Let's try to actually show off the... Oh, Mono Shurima with Zillion. Is this my deck? No, probably isn't. But I have a deck like this as well. You can check it out there. Just saying. Oh, okay. He didn't want to play. Bummer. I had internet issues and now I missed on pressing the record button. We're facing a landmark deck. So it's a very slow one at that. And we had a pretty good mulligan with these early games. And we pass here. Have three of our Allegiance cards, so now we need to predict, actually. The land obeys. I don't want to attack with the Dunekeeper into that, so we're just doing this. Hope to get the damage in, because every damage on his Nexus is closer, would be closer to Darius level up. So we have a predict, but unfortunately it's one of the late ones. I don't want to have this vulnerable, so I will actually predict here. Try to find another predict card. Never lucky. We skip here. Take the trade. I think I want to actually get rid of this and give him the ramp. So next round he will have 5 mana, and this is still mana, but he doesn't have any landmark to copy. So I'd rather have let him have the ramp now than later. Now we could go for the gamble here with our Allegiance cards, but I'd rather go with this. Alright. As we can have a follow-up with Whispered Words. Two of this shit. Okay. Okay. Just takes the trade here. I mean, we're progressing the level up, to be fair. Whispered Words to draw more. There's our Scrying Sense. Very good. I hope that he open attacks, so I can Scrying Sense him. But he probably won't. Maybe see a Talia here. Oh, very nice.
Hey, buddy,
What you doing? So we have both options open. We can either Allegiance with like drawing another champ, or we get the Basilisk Rider. I think we draw another champ, so I want to have the Dunekeeper here. As we see a Shaped Stone. That's completely fine. So what would be neat is another Draven here.
We live in hallowed times.
Okay, get the Darius, but the really thick one. Ugh. That's ugly. But we have something ugly as well. Is the hand of Noxus. Even have him prismatic. Like, he will have 7 mana anyways next round, right? So he will have now 5 mana. Which means, and he's already leveled, so doesn't really matter if he dies or not. But I will attack like this. I mean, he blocks this anyways, right? Or not. Okay. So I'm looking at Darius' level up here. But I can't level him up beforehand, so... but I will try to get rid of my hand a bit. Get more damage in. Just making use of these axes. It's a really Big boy. Probably see a Malphite here. Okay, no Malphite. Definitely want to predict here. Because if he plays the Malphite and stuns, we still have blockers with the Dunekeeper. I think I want a Farron at this point. Enabling our Basilisk Rider like this. Okay, he even attacks into this. Yeah, but now we see the power of the predictions. For Noxus!
History is whatever.
Okay, he seems to have a really bad hand. Now, I could play the Farron, but I don't want to have any low speed shenanigans here. I will just attack like this. So he blocks here. Like, no matter what he blocks with, I get the level up for Darius. We have Red of Negation backup. Probably the 4-mana stun card. Yep. We have a counter for that. So does lethal again. He has his own counter, okay. That's fine. I think this is still a lot of damage. Yeah. Having him down to 6. Probably should have opened with a Decimate, but... oh, poor chip. I feel bad. I feel bad. I will just develop more board. Far as the eye can see. Yeah, he knows it's over. What's walking? Oh, I love it. Oh, great. No victory line, unfortunately. But I showed off what I wanted to show off. So I will keep it short because I already have another video tomorrow, right? So I will end it here. You saw the idea of it, and that's what I wanted you guys to see. Try it out yourselves. Let me know what you guys think of this idea. I really had a blast playing it, and like I said, I will look into making this a bit better and maybe come back to this at some point. Also for tomorrow, we had this patch 2.8 for tomorrow, and there will be new skins. And I will tease that for one of these champions, I will revisit another archetype that I showed a long time ago. So maybe you can guess what it will be. So stay tuned for that, and I'll see you tomorrow in the next video. Until then, you stay legendary. Vlad out.
Come on,